What is up, YouTube? So we're gonna go over how I chose to upgrade the Cloud Commander Precon for Final Fantasy, the Magic the Gathering set. So like always, this is just my choice for my upgrades. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, there could be better cards, but these are the cards I chose. Also, these are just cards I had, kind of. Like I traded for a few, but I didn't really have to go seeking to buy stuff. Also, this isn't taking budget into account. So for me, I really like getting staples for cards, so you could always slot them into any commander deck you want. So if you're just starting out commander, I really suggest going for getting your base, or what's the word? Trying to get a base of all fetch lands, shock lands. You know, these are cards that could be used in any kind of commander deck. Anyways, let's get into it. So let's start with the land base first. So for the land base, I really hate lands coming in tapped. So we did take out all the these fetch tap lands. I don't even know what the proper term is. I can't think of it right now. But these lands that you could fetch for that enter tapped, they're these duos. I really don't like them. There's only one ETB tap land I would take, and that's the Tri-land, which is Jetmir's Garden, but we'll go over those later. But yeah, I took all three out. I took I took a Plains and a Forest basic out. I also took out this Tri-tap land because if I take one, I want it to be one I could fetch for. So usually if I have a fetch land in my opening hand, turn one, I'll automatically fetch for my Jetmir's Garden. What else did we take out? I don't know why they put this in every precon. I hate this card so much. Yeah, Path of Ancestry, another enters tap land. I get that it can tap for any color, but it like slows you down. And this is a deck that you do not want to be slowed down. You want to, every turn you want to be playing something on curve, because you're kind of like aggro. You're Voltron. You're trying to just drop all your equipment, play your commander as fast as you can, and then start swinging in. Pain lands, I took them out also. Check lands, same reason I took these out. I don't like being put in a situation where there's like a 50-50 chance this will enter tapped. So the check lands, if you have such and such land in your hand, or else it enters tapped, or check land if you have this on the field, or else it enters tapped. I took all those out. I don't like these filter lands. They're not even like filter lands. I just don't like them. So these are gone. Evolving Wilds, same reason. It's a fetch land. It's a cheap fetch land that the land enters tapped. Don't like that. Ash Barrens, same thing. It just taps for colorless with basic land cycling. We don't really run a lot of basics anyway. Maybe like 5, so I took that out. Scavenger Grounds, they're just better cards, and Slayer Stronghold, they're just better cards as well that we put in. So the cards we slotted in, Ancient Den, this replaced one of the plains because it's an artifact. My goal in the future is to get the mountain and the forest version that are artifact lands, because we have 2 cards that count. We need like 3 or more artifacts to activate. Mox Opal and the Paladin. The Paladin lets us equip equipment for 0. So if you have like, any high cost artifacts, which we'll go over, it just lets you cast it for free. So we want to get our artifacts on curve as easily as possible. So I have the plains. I plan on getting the mountain and forest in the future. Don't look at my bruise. I work in surgery, and the robot, my hand like slammed between the robot on the wall. Robot surgery. So if you're wondering what that mark is. But yeah, so next we have War Room. This is just card advantage. Once we have our commander out, we probably don't have a lot of cards in hand. This lets us start drawing cards. You'll pay 3 life and pay 3 mana to draw, but that's fine. Life is a currency, a resource, so Yeah, we got Bonder's Enclave. Draw a card, activate this only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Inventor's Fair. At the beginning of upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, there's that requirement for artifacts. You gain a life. And then sack it, just tutor for a artifact. And you can only activate this if you have 3 or more artifacts. Again, we have Rogue's Passage. Pay 4, tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. It helps you push your commander damage out. Commander Beacon, just a classic commander card. It taps for colorless, but you sack it, put your commander into your hand from the command zone. So if I really need to play my commander for its base cost, instead of like if he's died 4 times, I just want to, I need to cast him on curve, then I will sack this land to get him. We have Plateau and Taiga, dual lands. I mean, if you have a play group who's chill, I would allow people to proxy, like print them out, just to get commander. I don't like gatekeeping people. If they want to make a deck at the best, at like as optimized as they can, then I'll let them. Like, they don't have to be playing with these enter tap lands that I don't like. Here's the Jetmir's Garden. This is my only enter tap land, but it taps for 3 and I could fetch for it. So I think these are staples in all commander decks, unless you're playing CEDH. Over here, we just have all of our fetch lands. I want to be able to fetch turn 1. I want to increase that chance as much as possible. So we have as many fetch lands as we can to fetch for this turn 1. And then we have our shock lands. We are missing a Temple Garden, so I'm currently trying to trade for one. So when I do eventually get a Temple Garden, I'll probably replace one of the mountains that come in the precon for that card. But yeah, so that is all the land for our cloud deck. So we'll put these all away. So these are all the land we're taking out. We don't want any of this stuff. Then we'll get rid of all of these land that we're putting in. All right. All right, now let's talk about the non-land cards we're taking out. So I originally wanted to keep this as close as pre-con as possible, and I played in some bracket 3 games at the store and even casually, and it's up to you. Like, I tried to keep this as close to the original pre-con as I could, and I was getting wrecked. Like, there's just some cards that have better versions of them, or they're just better cards, or there's cards that don't belong in the deck. For example, this Hellkite Tyrant, it's a cool card, but it's 6 mana cost, and you already have a lot of stuff to cast. So like, I feel like this doesn't really belong in the deck. So this is like a card I would cut. So yeah, let's just start with the red card. So Hellkite Tyrant, 6 mana. There's just better cards we could cast. I'd rather be casting, like, for 6 mana, I'd rather be casting 2 swords for that cost. Professional Facebreaker. Let me make sure that this is centered here. Professional Facebreaker, menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal damage, create a treasure token. We don't really care about, well, in my opinion, I feel like at turn 3, you play this. If you're playing on curve, turn 3, you play this. Turn 4, play my, I don't know, equipment or something. Like, we're playing stuff on curve. We shouldn't really need to make treasure tokens. Any cards or effects we want to help us push damage or buff our stuff or protect them. Vincent's 3 mana cost again with menace. Whenever one or more creatures, so it'll be 1 trigger per attack. Put a 1/1 counter on Vincent. When he deals damage, it deals that much to each other opponent. It's whatever. There's better cards than this. Unless you like, the only reason I'd keep these cards in is if you want to keep this as close to the precon as possible, but at that point, you might as well just not mess with the deck at all and just play the card raw as the precon versus another precon. Otherwise, I would just because I mean, like I was saying, I tried to keep it as close to the precon, and I was getting wrecked in bracket 3 decks. So, Chaos Warp, I don't like this card because it's I don't like random effects. So you get rid of a permanent, or you don't even get rid of it, you shuffle it into their library, and the odds of this happening are so low, but this has happened to me probably like 10 times this year, where they shuffle their deck and then they reveal the top card and it's the card I got rid of. So that can happen to you if you're me. But so you target a permanent, they shuffle it into their library, and they reveal cards from the top until they get a permanent, and that enters the field. So you're just you could get rid of something and replace it with like an Eldrazi or something better. So I don't like this. I'd rather just exile it. I'd rather pay Path to Exile, Swords, but I actually play other things, which I'll show you guys and what my strategy is. Furious Rise, card advantage. There's just better card advantage we're running. Where I'm running Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it's an expensive card, but proxy it, and if you're playing in a playgroup that doesn't allow it, then probably find a new playgroup. Avalanche of Sector 7. Their power is equal to the number of artifacts. I don't really want to focus on other cards dealing damage because I'm focusing on Cloud. And when we play Cloud, we're gonna try to protect him as much as we can. Kate Sith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1, then exile the top part of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X +0 equal to its mana value. Same thing as Avalanche. I just don't want to play cards that, like, these are cards that I'm trying to deal damage with. I'm Voltroning. So these summon cards I actually don't like. I know a few people like them, but I don't. There's only one summon card, and it's the one that cycles itself. I forgot what it was called, but these cards, like, they're only around for a certain amount of time, then they're gone. So, I won't even go over the abilities. I just don't like any summon cards. If you looked at my other video, I took out all of them, so, from the counters deck. Barret, when he attacks, deals damage equal to equipped creatures. So that would probably deal 1 because I'll stack all my equipment on 1 creature. Yuffie has ninjutsu. When it enters, gain control of target non-creature artifact as long as I control Yuffie. Yuffie or Yuffie? Damn, I forgot. Then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. It's meh. And then Ultimate Magic Meteor deals 7 damage to each creature. This spell was cast from exile for each opponent. Choose an artifact or land and destroy those permanents. We're just running Blasphemous Act instead. I think that's actually a better card. And every time I've cast it, it came in clutch. So, yeah. Summoning Materia, there's just better equipment we could play, and I'm not playing a lot of creatures. So if this said, as long as this equipment is attached to a creature, you may cast artifacts from the top of your library, then I'd play it. But it says you may cast creature spells from the top of your library. I'm not running a lot of creatures, so it wouldn't really get me anywhere. Put that there. All right, artifacts we're taking out. Equipped creature is +2/+1 for Hero's Heirloom, as long as equipped creature is legendary as Trample and Haste. We added other cards that add this effect, and they're better, so that was an easy pass on that. Inspiring Statuary. Not artifacts have improvise. Improvise is meh to me. Armory Automaton. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, you may attach any number of target equipment to it. Because same thing as I was saying before, I want to focus on equipping Cloud, not him. Mask of Memory. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card. Meh. We have better card advantage cards. Don't look at this because I have this in the stack because I actually switched the Lightning Greaves with a foil Lightning Greaves. That's why this is here. And then we have Hero Blade. Equipped creature has +3/+2. When a legendary creature enters, just equip it automatically to it. we just have better equipment, and there's not a lot of slots in the 100. Explorer's Scope. When an equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of my library. If it's land, enters tapped. It's cool, but we have better equipment, like I said. There's not many slots. This, I kind of wanted to play it. Equipped creature has base power 7/7 and can't be blocked by creatures 2 or less. That was cool, but again, we have other cards I want to run over this. Okay. Heidegger, this guy creates tokens. I mean, they're free if you're playing in a pot of 4, is making 3 tokens a turn. If they have more creatures than you, which they probably will, unless they're playing blue or control or stacks or something. So it's like cool, it makes tokens, but we're not running tokens. That's not our strategy. This would be cool in a token deck, but even then in a token deck, you're probably having more creatures than them. So maybe there's better cards than that. Secret Rendezvous, I actually love this card. Tifa's my girl, I would have chosen her in the game. But yeah, I don't like giving my opponent cards. So this could have been cool in like a group hug deck. So maybe I might make one. So this is going in the pile, but not for this deck. Ultimate Magic Holy Permanence. I gain indestructible until end of turn. For 3 mana, we have just better cards than this. We have Heroic Intervention. I'm running Teferi's Protection, which is 3 mana cost also. And then I also kept the pseudo Teferi's Protection that came in the precon. So we have a lot of protection spells. And then we're also running Mother of Ruins, Giver of Ruins. So those are additional protection cards. So I think that one can go. Bastion Protector, commander creatures get +2/+2 and have indestructible. I like the effect, but I don't like it on a creature. Creatures are easy to get rid of. If this was an artifact, I would probably run it. Or artifact or enchantment. Those are hard to get rid of. These are easy to get rid of. So, to get rid of that. Hill Trooper. Whenever this creature attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying. Equip abilities you activate that target this creature cost 2 less. If this said equipment abilities that target a creature cost 2 less, I would have kept it, but it's only him. So again, I'll get rid of that. I want something that affects Cloud. Bronze Guardian. All of the artifacts have Ward 2, is powers equal to the number of artifacts I control. It's an easy pass. I don't need that. Zack Fair enters with a +1 counter on it. Sack him. Target creature I control gains indestructible till end of turn. Put Zack Fair's counters on that creature and attach any equipment that was attached to him. This, whatever. I'd actually rather run Selfless Spirits over this because it gives all my creatures indestructible. But we don't run a lot of creatures anyway. So anyway, we don't need that card. This is whatever. This is just like a crappy evolve 1/1. But whenever you cast a historic spell, put a 1/1 counter on Elena. When Elena enters, return target non-assassin historic card from graveyard to your hand. This probably would be good in the counter deck. Not this deck. Soldier Military Program. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, choose both. Create a 1/1 soldier token or put a counter on 2 soldiers I control. It's cool, but there's faster stuff we need. And I actually like this card. The last white card, Cloud's Limit Break. Tiered, so you pay a base of 2 mana, and then we add. So for 0, destroy target tapped creature. For 3 mana, destroy any number of tapped creatures with different controllers. And then Omni Slash for 6, destroy all tapped creatures. I'd rather just play Wrath of God, which we are. So get rid of that. Too many conditions. Okay, Eric, now our multicolors we're getting rid of. Aerith, Last Ancient, Lifelink, beginning of your end step, if you gain life. We don't really have a lot of ways to gain life, so I'll just even stop there. There's no point continuing because we can't. There's very few ways to gain life in this deck. I believe I have 2. Red, 13. Other modified creatures have Vigilance and Trample. We have equipment that give that ability. And again, this is on a creature which can easily get rid of. The ETB ability is cool. It's recursion that brings auras or equipment from the graveyard back to your hand. But even then, I think there's better cards to run. Now this card, I kind of wanted to keep Sephiroth in the deck because it's Sephiroth. but this card doesn't really, I mean, it does, I guess. So when Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature. Till end of turn, each modified creature has base power toughness 7/5. So this would be cool to put it on like a token deck. But where Cloud is already getting super buffed, I feel like it's not that important. So that's why I'm taking this out. I'd rather run an artifact over him. And then Barrett, 4/4 with reach. He has whenever an equipment enters, create a 2/2 rebel. So this deck has like a identity problem. It wants to Voltron and then it wants to be tokens. I think the deck performs stronger as a Voltron deck than tokens. I'd rather go all in on one mode than split up into multiple game plans. All right, so here are the cards we put in. So we'll start with the green because we only have 3. Delighted Halfling, add tap for colorless or add 1 mana of any color, spend it to cast legendary spells. That can't be countered. So I would drop this for my commander, make sure it gets out without being countered every time. This is like a staple. Anything that runs green, I would play this. Heroic Intervention, like we said, make all of our stuff hexproof and indestructible. And then Kodama for 3 mana. Modified creatures. Modified is creatures that have counters on them, are equipped. They're modified. Whenever they deal combat damage, search for a basic land card, put it tapped. They also have trample. So this gives my Cloud reach to trample over. If you give them double strike, that's even better. Double strike and trample are amazing. But also the filtering your deck for basic land cards, because we have 5, well soon to be 4 if I could get a Temple Garden. It just makes sure you do not draw land. I actually had a trouble, my last game, this is kind of why I'm cutting land, because I had 36 land last game, and I drew, I had a bunch of draw triggers, and I drew 8 land in a row. It was so bad. So I cut down from 36 to 35. We'll see if that one card helps. So we'll set those aside. Okay, so the red cards we added. Blasphemous Act. So Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature, costs 1 less basic mana, 1 less generic mana for each creature on the battlefield. So this came in clutch. There's a player in one of my last games who had a bunch of tokens, and this costs 1 red to kill everything. Even his, he had tokens and a 1 big fat creature, and this helped get rid of everything. So it kills all creatures, but if you have nothing, this is gonna help you. Let's say they killed your commander. Let's say you went to attack. They pathed your commander, he's dead. You pass turn, your opponent drops a bunch of stuff because you've been removed, you're not a threat anymore. Your next opponent drops a bunch of tokens and their big fat commander. Your other opponent drops 2 big fatties. Now it's your turn. You drop this, you cast it for 1 red, kill everything, and then you play your commander again. And then when it comes back, when it wheels back to your turn, your artifacts are probably still on the field. You equip it all and you start wiping people out. So that's why I like, that's my rationale for board clears in a Voltron deck, and I run a few. So let's go over that. So this is one of my game changer cards. Deflecting SWAT, if you control your commander, this is free. Choose new targets. So there's nothing like them about to swords your commander, your Cloud, and then you deflecting SWAT it for free and you target their commander or you target another player's commander. It's amazing. So I love deflecting SWAT. That'll be one of my 3 game changer cards because I'm trying to keep this a strong bracket 3 deck. Wheel of Fortune, this is not a game changer card as of today, in case it is in the future. So each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. Love that for all red decks. Keep that card advantage up. Okay, going to equipment, we're gonna run the 3 OG swords. We got Sword of Feast and Famine. Love this card. Gives your Cloud protection from black and green. When he deals damage, they discard a card of their choice, and then you untap all lands. It's amazing. I absolutely love Sword of Feast and Famine. I used to have the Judge promos, and then I sold them like a dodo when I was in nursing school. And one of my biggest regrets, I sold a lot of cards during nursing school, and they're worth a lot more now. Sword of Fire and Ice. I love this card too. Protection from red and blue. Blue, big thing. +2/+2. When you deal damage, deal 2 damage to any target creature or player, and you draw a card. Drawing helps a lot in red. Sword of War and Peace. I put this mostly to give me protection from white, and I like that it gives you protection to white and red, and it also gives you +2/+2. When you deal combat damage, they take damage equal to the cards in their hand, and you gain life equal to the cards in your hand. Very good. Hammer Nazan. When it enters, I automatically attach it to a creature I control. They get +2/+0, indestructible. Love that. So you could drop this on your, let's say you have your commander and there's a bunch of creatures on the board. You drop Hammer Nazan and you drop your Blasphemous Act to wipe the board, except for your guy stays. It's amazing. Shadow Spear. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 trample and lifelink. So there's that trample keyword that we didn't, we like trample, but those cards we got rid of that give trample, this gives it, and lifelink, and +1/+1. Permanent your opponent control, lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That's an activated ability for 1. Equip 2, so not bad. Mox Opal, just some little mana ramp. You can only use it if there's 3 or more artifacts, so it should be easy to get 3 artifacts out. Includes itself, by the way. Our second game changer card is Mox Diamond. Help get our commander out faster. This is some little spicy tech I have here. I'm sure there's better equipment choices than this, but I have Grafted Exoskeleton for 4 mana. Equipped creature gets 4/4 and infect. When it gets unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent. Equip 2. So there's a downside, but it's just no one really knows of this card, so it's kind of just funny to play it and kill someone in one hit. Like let's say Cloud is like a 3/3, or not, he's not even 3/3 because his base power is a 4/4. Okay, let's say you only equip this on Cloud, and then you also give him double strike. You'll kill someone in one hit. It's hilarious. We have Inquisitor's Flail. Equipped creature, oh here we go, here's the double damage. If equipped creature would deal combat damage, it deals double damage, but he also takes double damage. So this is some spice right here. This also stacks with double strike. So you deal double damage, and then you double strike that double damage. It's crazy. Helps you just knock players out. Commander's Plate. Equipped creature has +3/+3, protection from each color that's not your identity, and costs 3 to equip your commander. So it only costs 1. It helps you play on curve. If this is turn 1, drop it to play a 2 mana, turn 2. You just keep dropping it. Caldra Complete. So this is one of the bombs. 7 mana to cast this. It's a living weapon, so it'll be equipped to token. This is indestructible, and equipped creature gets +5/5. First strike, trample, indestructible, haste. Whenever I deal combat damage to a creature, exile it. So, very good card. Basilisk Collar, another 1 mana artifact. Equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. Pretty basic there. I like that card. You could drop it maybe, but I like having some options for lifelink. We have Genji Glove. Equipped creature has double strike. Whenever equipped creature attacks, if it's the first combat phase, untap it, and then there's another one. So, self-explanatory. You like attacking twice. And then this is like a flex spot. I just put it here because obviously it's a sword, and I'm looking for a foil Buster Sword. So hit me up if you have one. But yeah, equipped creature gets +3/2. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then cast a spell from my hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage I just did, without paying its mana cost. So that's pretty good. I think there's better cards, but I'm running this because it's a freaking Cloud deck. So I barely wanted to drop Sephiroth, but I can't drop the Buster Sword. And also, by the way, this does not come in the pre-con. This is in the actual set. So you have to pull it and then add it to the deck. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about our white card selection, which is more than both of those combined. So our first choice here, we have Sigarda's Aid. So Sigarda's Aid lets you cast aura and equipment spells as flash, so instant speed. When an equipment enters the field, I just attach it. So there's a few cards like that Caldera Complete, so I could just equip it to my commander right away. And this is an enchantment, so it's hard to get rid of. We have Wrath of God, another board wipe, 4 mana. We don't care because we really only play our commander, and we have a lot of cards that give our commander indestructible. So Wrath of God helps us clear the board and clear the way for our guy to punch through. Stoneforge Mystic, when it ETBs, this is a classic card. Search your library for an equipment card, pay 2 mana, put equipment from your hand onto the battlefield. That's pretty good, helps us get those big boys out. We have Danitha, First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Aura, and equipment spells cast 1 less. Self-explanatory, we have a few of those. Whenever SRAM, he's a big, I'm on the fence because I have the non-foil Through the Ages Final Fantasy version of him, but this one's foil. So what would you do? Non-foil Final Fantasy card or foil Masterpiece? Anyway, SRAM, whenever you cast an artifact, aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card advantage. We're gonna be drawing a lot with that out. Grand Abolisher, people can't cast anything or abilities on your turn. Self-explanatory. One of the few creatures we're running that help our commander. Forge Anew, when it enters the field, return target equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equip abilities anytime you would cast an instant. And you may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability on your turns. So very good card there. We've opened the armory. Tutor for a aura or equipment, put in your hand for 2 manes. So pretty good there. We have Steel Sheeper's Gift. Search your library for an equipment card. Also put that in your hand, then shuffle for 1. We have Ethersworn Canonist. This is gonna punish other players and not us. Each player who has cast a non-artifact spell cannot cast additional non-artifact cards. This helps slow down our opponents. This is our 3rd game changer card, Teferi's Protection. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is a staple. You just phase out your whole everything. You can't be attacked. All your permanents phase out. This helps protect you. Let's say you are about to get board wiped and you have lethal on the board. You could Teferi's Protection to phase out until your next turn, and then they probably swung everything out against you, so you are able to just swing all in and knock out one player or close out the game. Then we have protection cards. We have Mother of Runes and Giver of Runes, pretty much same ability, and they're both 1 mana cost. Just protect our commander from any color of our choice. Giver of Runes is just better because I could also make it colorless. Winds of Abandon is a board clear that does everyone except us. This is like the white version of Cyclonic Rift. So for 2 mana, exile target creature, their owner looks for a basic land card, and then we can overload it for 6 to exile all creatures we don't control, and they get to get a basic land for each exiled creature, but that's fine. Yeah, this is like the white version of Cyclonic Rift. Love it. And of course, we got Flawless Maneuver. I cracked open a precon just for this card. If you control a commander, you may cast that spell without paying its mana cost. All my creatures get indestructible. So pretty self-explanatory. It's a free protection spell and protects everything, not just 1. So there are other protection spells you could run. You could run like God's Willing. It gives 1 creature protection, you scry 1. You could do Vines of Vastwood, like just random cards. But the thing is, those only protect 1 creature. And even though I've been saying we only run Cloud, our commander, there's other basic cards. I'd rather run these cards that are just better versions of that protect everyone. So yeah, they're just better versions, but if you're on a budget, those are definitely viable. But yeah, these are my choices. There's obviously better, but yeah, that is what I chose. Also, check out my new playmat from eBay. Very cool. I thought those were her boobs at first, but those are her knees. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. What would you have chosen instead, or what have you chosen? Would you run Buster Sword because it's just flavor? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Am I doing heresy for not putting Sephiroth in this deck? I don't know. Well, anyway, we are going to be making a Sephiroth and a VV commander deck, also at bracket 3, and they're going to be strong bracket 3. I know people have been commenting, this isn't bracket 3, but it is bracket 3. It's the bracket 3 rules. They're just very obviously as strong as they could be. But yeah, I'm still trying to get as much fetch lands and shock lands as I can to build up I'm trying to make a bank of just fetch lands and shock lands. I'm always trying to trade for those, but yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this helps you, I don't know, make some choices. And yeah, I'll see you later. Peace.